Here with 2017 Stanley Cup champion, Ryan Bowness. Does that sink? Has that sunk in, Ryan?
Hearing you say it is pretty cool. It really still hasn't sunk in yet. It feels like it was yesterday that it just happened. It's hard to believe it's been a month and a half since the night we won it, but it's been a blur ever since. We had, on our side of things, obviously on the scouting side, you win and you celebrate and you go home for a few days and then you got to go right to the draft, go home for a couple days then, and I went right into Pittsburgh for free agency. A little time at home, then I had my cup party on just this past Monday. So it's been a blur. It's been fun, and it's been a great summer so far, and I still got another month and a half left of summer, and I'm going to enjoy it.
What went through your mind hoisting that cup?
Well, first of all, it was the game itself. Like it was Game 6 in Nashville, and we were tied 0-0 with about a minute and a half left, and we were all convinced we were going overtime, so we were kind of a little bit subdued and nervous, and then all of a sudden that goal went in. And I'll never forget the emotions that went through my body in that exact moment. We were just kind of like, oh my God, this is actually going to happen. And we all immediately just jumped up. We were in the press box and we all screamed and jumped and we were hugging each other and we all ran downstairs. And I remember being in the elevator and we were just like, your mind's going a mile a minute, you don't know what's going on. My mom and dad were at the game. And I got a text from my mom in the elevator, why are they reviewing this goal? So I'm sitting there in the elevator, we can't see what's going on. And I'm like, guys, like this goal's getting reviewed. But then by the time we got down there and down towards the ice, we knew we had it and we got the empty netter. And it was just, and then like you said, the moment I raised that cup over my head that night, it was just, it's a blur because you just have so many things going on in your mind. You're just so excited, but it was definitely a dream come true.
How impactful has your dad been to your career and just hockey's been part of your family's fabric, really?
It's what I know. My best childhood memories are going to the rink with him on Saturdays and going to practice and running around the rink with helping out the trainers since I was a kid. So it's what I know. It's the life I grew up in, and when you're a kid, you don't really realize it. It's just what you know as a child, and that's how you grow up. And obviously, as I got older and started developing my own playing career, I really began to appreciate how lucky I was to grow up in that environment. And certainly, obviously, he's my biggest role model growing up, and everything I know I learned from him. But not just him, my mom. Hockey moms don't get enough credit for the kids that grow up in the game, because you got to remember, dad's on the road half the season, and mom's the one running around taking me to practice, and all three of us, my brother and sister as well. So both my parents equally big role models on me, and like I said, the moms don't get enough credit, but she's certainly just as big of, if not more of an impact than my dad.
You had a tough career decision last year, making a decision to actually move to Pittsburgh and join their organization. How difficult was that?
Hardest decision I've ever made in my life. I was with the Atlanta/Winnipeg organization for 7 years. So I moved with the team to Winnipeg from Atlanta. So I was with that team from the ground up, and I developed some great relationships. People there that are still, to this day, some of my best friends. From Mark Chipman, Kevin Cheveldayoff, Larry Simmons, Craig Heisinger. The entire staff there were unbelievable to me, and it was a really gut-wrenching decision to make, because I knew I was leaving behind such a fantastic group of people and a great organization. But when you have a chance to go work for the defending Stanley Cup champions that also happen to have the best player in the world on a team, it's a pretty hard move to turn down. But it certainly wasn't an easy decision. But obviously, looking back, it was the right one.
How special is it for you to be a part of the Maritime NHLers for Kids event, and just to see the success that it's had?
It's great. We obviously, with our family, we've been out with it every year from day one. So to see how the event's grown. And just to be a part of it, like to be a Maritimer, like that's the one thing I notice when we all get together at these events. We're all so proud of each other, just because we all come from similar backgrounds and similar areas. And I think it's hard to get people to these events, but once we're here and we're around each other, we really gravitate towards each other, and we really enjoy each other's company. And we realize how important it is to give back to the kids that grow up in these provinces. So it's great.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations. Last question.
Yep.
Did you drink out of the cup? Your dad may have alluded to having some seafood chowder out of the cup.
I drank out of it the night we won. It was actually funny. As soon as we went into the dressing room, I know Sid since we were teenagers, so there were hundreds of people in the dressing room and everybody's partying. As soon as I walked in, he was holding the cup, and we made eye contact, and he just kind of goes, "Get over here." So I walked right in there and he threw that thing down my throat, and it was just an unbelievable experience. And then, you know, the night you win, we don't have a lot of time with
Right.
it. There's so many people sharing it. So Monday, when I had my day with it at home, was when I really got to handle it. And yeah, that was one of the things I did. I took it to, my buddy owns a donair shop in Halifax, so I took it over there and had a donair out of it. And then when we got home, my mom makes the best seafood chowder in the world. So we all had a couple of bites of seafood chowder before all of my guests arrived. So it was cool. It was fun to be able to do those kind of personal things with it, and I really enjoyed it.
Well, our bonus is going to be on the cup.
That's what he keeps telling me. We'll see. I don't know if it'll be my decision if it goes on there, but we'll see.
Thanks for this, Ryan.
Anytime. Yeah. Thank you.